Hello there, and welcome to our workshop to introduce you to a new great local resource that will make teaching about agriculture very easy. I'm Judy Culbertson. I am Executive Director for the California Foundation for Agriculture in the Classroom.
And my name's Mindy DeRohan. I am the Program Manager here at Ag in the Classroom as well.
So just to kind of set the stage, we have a great new resource that we recently developed called Your Guide to Agriculture in the Classroom. And it's going to be available to anyone and everyone. And it is going to help you teach about agriculture to anyone, whether it's students, your community, teachers. It will hopefully show you how simple it is to include agriculture in your presentations. So it really provides a good starting point, kind of an overview of how to teach about agriculture from a very basic project to a more comprehensive. And I wanted to say right up front, if you will fill out the evaluation that we will have available after you watch this video, you will be provided with a great prize, and that prize or reward is a starter kit. So we have developed this box, a great way to get started about teaching about agriculture. And we will be sending out, as long as supplies last, we'll be sending out a box like this to everyone who fills out the evaluation. So I suggest that you do that.
And we hope that with the materials that we provided in the guide and paired with the resources in the starter kit, you really have a comprehensive kit to enhance ag literacy efforts in your community. Perfect.
And you know, agriculture can be taught in so many different ways. If you are an organization such as the Cattle Women do a great job educating about cattle and agriculture in general, these resources can really be helpful. Or if you happen to be a nutrition focused organization like the Dairy Council and Cooperative Extension, they do great jobs with making agriculture a part of nutrition education. Or if you're just generally talking about agriculture and its importance to our economy and the society, groups like the county farm bureaus, California Women for Agriculture, county fairs do a great general overview of agriculture. So wherever your interest lies, agriculture can be incorporated into your messaging. So let me give just a little bit of a history and a little bit more about Ag in the Classroom. We were founded as a program of the Farm Bureau in 1980, and there was so much demand by educators that the program became its own nonprofit 501c3 in 1986. So we are the California Foundation for Agriculture in the Classroom. Why we teach about agriculture to our kids: less than 2% of our population is made up of agriculture. So that means we've got a big job ahead of us to make sure that others appreciate where their food and fiber come from. Students are getting further and further removed from growing their own food. So it's important to start building that foundation on where their food and fiber come from. And they are going to be, you know, they are already consumers, but they're going to be the leaders in our state as they grow up. And wouldn't it be better if they had just that basic foundation about agriculture? And when to teach about agriculture? Agriculture can be taught from the very beginning. Everybody loves to eat. And so it's really important to start bringing the discussion of agriculture and your food starting at the very beginning. We are a program that reaches kindergarten through 12th grade. So there are different ways, different subject areas that you can include agriculture at all grade levels. Now, I was going to say the next, we have a fun activity.
For those of you that have attended some of our in-person events, we really like to be hands-on and incorporate as many activities as we can. We think that activities really help shape our outreach events and just show how how easy we can teach consumers about where their food comes from. And so one of our favorites is making butter. It's a really easy activity to connect teachers and students alike and community members to something that directly connects them to their food source. And the supplies are very minimal. You only need really two things, heavy whipping cream and an airtight plastic container. And to start, you just pour your heavy whipping cream and you fill the airtight container about halfway, put your lid back on and shake. And this airtight container, these we got at Smart and Final. They're very cheap. You can also use things around your house, like a small mason jar or
An old butter container.
Yeah, anything that just, you know, you want to make sure that there's no splatter. But this is such a great activity because kids are immediately learning how to connect to their food, like, I mean, literally how their food is made, and using two very simple supplies. But it's also one that we're able to connect to science standards, because what's happening is a physical change between the heavy whipping cream turning into butter. And so you're creating energy when you shake the butter, and that energy and that change is what actually makes the butter. So you kind of have to sit here and shake for about 5 minutes. So
We'll keep it going while the other one's talking.
we'll keep it going, and we'll check in a minute. But one thing about this activity is that it can be done. We've done it at baseball games. We've done it at grocery stores. We've done it at drive-through fair events. There's so many different ways that so many different places that you can easily do this activity just because of the minimal supplies. And it's such a great way to not only connect consumers to their food source, but also connect them to each other, because we've done it at the California Farm Bureau annual meeting a couple years ago, and all of a sudden you see people walking around shaking butter, and they're like, why did they sign up to do this? But they're able to see it. Or at grocery stores.
People, we've set up a table and everybody's going, okay, I'll do it. And they're walking around with their cart and then shaking their butter on the other hand. And it's such an old-fashioned kind of activity that it is just it's a real great icebreaker. It's easy, and it gets people relaxed and talking about their food
and talking about agriculture. So like I said, you know, there's a couple different changes that happen. The first one is when you start shaking, you hear the heavy whipping cream shaking it in the container, and then it kind of, as it's starting to make butter, it gets really thick and you're not able to hear so much. And then at the very end, which we'll come back to, you can hear, after the butter's made, there's the buttermilk that is left from it, and you're able to hear that swishing around in the cup. So we'll go ahead and continue with our presentation, but we'll still shake butter, and we'll check in just a minute.
All right, so just a little bit of an overview of our guide. This is developed so that it is easy for anyone and everyone, no matter what organization you are, to bring agriculture to life. So included in the guide are contact information for Ag in the Classroom. We are here and available to help you with whatever you need. If you have a great idea, we'd love to partner or at least discuss and brainstorm ways to increase your reach. It also includes quite a bit about our programs and resources and grant opportunities. And as I mentioned, all of our resources, I think I mentioned, all of our resources are available on our website, which is learnaboutag.org. And learnaboutag.org. And they are all downloadable or orderable at no cost. So we have very few items on our website that cost anything. So we encourage you to take those resources and use them as you see fit. There's no ownership. We've all got to be working together in order to make the biggest impact.
Judy, do you hear that?
I do hear that.
Yeah.
Can they hear that close?
I don't know. We'll see. So I don't know if you guys can hear this or not, but it sounds like we went from the liquid to the solid, and then what's left is a little bit of butter, like I said, the buttermilk. And so we'll drain that out so you can see that. And then what's left is butter. And so, like we said, I mean, that just took just a few minutes while we were sitting here talking, and consumers are able to immediately learn where their food comes from and have something to show for it. So it's such a fun activity. But
It's pretty fun. And then the next fun part is having crackers or something available, and everybody's eating and enjoying, and it's a good one.
yeah.
So back to where we were. We're just, the other part of this guide is it shares a lot of different community planning resources, how to make the classroom program successful, where you can do outreach and how to do outreach in your community, how to plan, just different examples of different steps on planning an ag workshop or a farm day or a summer ag seminar or any kind of an ag literacy event. There are fundraising ideas and partners, and it talks about the value of reaching beyond your own industry and making connections with media. And then it has a really good list of educational resources in your community where you can partner with other groups, not only ag in the classroom, but other groups who might be doing the same kind of outreach that you are doing. So I think it's pretty comprehensive and a great resource.
And we're really excited to share it all with you.
Yes, we are.
So we're going to talk a little bit about what resources we have available at Ag in the Classroom. As Judy said, all of our resources are free or very low cost, and we love everything can be downloaded for free from our website, and we're happy to send you copies if we have those available in stock. So we were going to highlight just a few of them today. The first one that you can see is What's Growing On. That's our student newspaper. We're working on our 19th edition right now. So our 18th edition was Props to Specialty Crops, and each page of our newspaper features a different commodity, and it makes learning about agriculture really fun. Distribute these in at county fairs, at county farm bureau events, different commodity association events. We send class sets to teachers for free. We insert them in newspapers traditionally during National Ag Week, and so it's a really great consumer friendly educational resource that's aligned to California state content standards for grades 3 through 8. And one thing I think Judy kind of touched on at the beginning, but all of our curriculum is, we work really hard to have unbiased, factually accurate curriculum pieces available that are not only teacher written, but they're also fact checked by industry professionals to make sure that the messaging that we're sharing is factually accurate about agriculture and sharing a correct message. And so we have resources for all grade levels, K through 12, all subject matters that just, really focus on agriculture while meeting the California state content standards.
One more thing on What's Growing On is they are available in quantity. So we print them in 30,000 copy batches. So if it gets to be too many copies that are requested to be handed out, they are only 10 cents a piece. And we figure, you can buy a pencil to give a student for 15 cents, or you can buy this 16-page student newspaper that's chock full of great resources for 10 cents. So be in touch, and we try to provide what you could use in your events.
Our agriculture fact and activity sheets is our next resource that I'm going to talk about. We have about 44 different commodities that we have a fact and activity sheet for. And we work specifically with industry professionals to write and develop this resource. The front page of the fact sheet has all kinds of information about the history of the commodity, the nutritional information, top counties in California where it's produced. And then on the back page, there's a graphic at the top, some fun facts, a few lesson ideas, and then actually a full lesson plan that is, again, aligned to state standards. And they all focus on different things from like making fruit leather to a bouncing egg. I mean, the lesson plans are just really how to ripen an avocado. They're very different. And we like to keep it fresh with fun and new ideas.
And those can be used either as background information for elementary teachers when they have to know a little bit about cherries and not, go into research. But also middle school and high school students are sometimes given a fact sheet, and they can do a report based on that information. So there's a lot of different uses, and it is our most popular.
Yeah, so that's what I was just going to say is looking resource. At it, it almost looks, it's black and white. It's a lot of our resources, I mean, definitely compared to like what's growing on, are very colorful and bright. And these are black and white, and that's because teachers have requested them to be black and white so that they can easily print them or make photocopies of them for their students. Every month, they're our most downloaded resource from our website. So they're a really popular resource for teachers and students alike. Our AgBytes is our next activity that I'm going to talk about, or resource I'm going to talk about. And this is just the hard copy of the booklet, but we have 19 of these available, and they are just bite-sized activities that can be done in an hour or less that, bring agricultural concepts alive for your students. And there's anything from making recycled paper or making ice cream to studying there's one called Got Guts and studying the digestive tract of cows, to one about ports and garden in a glove. So there's a lot of fun different ideas. And these are really great for outreach events if you're doing a workshop or a presentation, because it's something that can be done quick, but again, leave that lasting connection to agriculture for the students, teachers, and community members that you're reaching. Our Imagine This Stories Inspired by Agriculture book is, and we have a story writing contest each year. The top state winner from grades 3 through 8 are published into our Imagine This Stories Inspired by Agriculture book. There's a sample of one below or on your screen. And these topics range from anything from cauliflower and broccoli to basil, and just bell peppers. The creativity of the students is really endless. There's a lot of typically stories about ranching, or the many byproducts of wool was included in this year's book. So I encourage you to check out our Imagine This books. They're a great resource to share with other students, where they can learn about agriculture, but they can read a fun story written by another student while they're doing it. And then the stories are illustrated by high school students. So it's a really fun opportunity for high school students to practice their art schools, become illustrated, published artists, and then also for the elementary school students who are able to have their stories published into a book. Moving into kind of related to books, but we often get asked what's an easy way to incorporate agriculture into the classroom? And one of the easiest ways is through books about agriculture, because it's such an easy way to share the message while, reading to your class, which is something that you would probably do anyway, or reading at an outreach event. And so we developed this resource, Great Reads About Agriculture, that has some of our most favorite books. It's also available online with links to Amazon if you want to purchase any of those books. And there's so many great books about agriculture. These are just a few of our top favorites. And then our lesson plans, on our website, which is learnaboutab.org, we have a plethora of lesson units that all focus about agriculture, again, for grades K through 12, covering a variety of different subject areas that are just chock full of different activities. If you wanted to just pull a piece of one to do at an outreach event, or share the whole lesson unit with teachers to incorporate into their classrooms as well.
And I wanted to put in a quick plug. Excuse me, California Agriculture in the Classroom is a part of a national group of state Ag in the Classroom programs. So the national organization is NAPCO, or National Ag in the Classroom Organization. And so all of us states work together and complement each other's projects and resources. NACO has a website, and agclassroom.org, and on there is a matrix, and that matrix contains the best of the best lessons for teachers. So, and it's very user friendly. That you can go in and plug in 6th grade science and soils and come up with the best of the best resources that NACO found to offer to teachers throughout the country. And we're very lucky that most of our lessons are all included in that. But I encourage you also to not stop with just our resources, but really there's quite a few to choose from, and you can find what you're looking for.
And just a quick note, all of the resources that you see on the screen right now, including our Imagine This book, is all included in the Learn About Ag Starter Kit. So just another plug to really do that evaluation and get these resources sent to you for free for use with your outreach events. As we continue kind of talking about some of our different programs and resources, each year Ag in the Classroom has an annual conference for educators throughout the state. I'm sure that many of you watching this workshop have been and attended our conference before. It's really a dynamic opportunity to bring together industry people, community outreach professionals such as yourselves, and then also teachers from throughout California to this networking event where they can collaborate, they can learn. We take them on field trips where they're able to, really visit a farm or a ranch for the first time, and bring in dynamic keynote speakers that really just encourage the use of agriculture into your classroom in one way or another. And so this last year with the pandemic and everything, we took our conference virtual, which, the silver lining is typically our educator conference reaches about 200, we have about 200 people come. And when we hosted our virtual conference, we had over 400 register to watch it. And so we did virtual farm trips, we did virtual workshops, we had virtual keynote speakers. So we tried to incorporate all of the same elements that people come to an Ag in the Classroom conference for and just provide it virtually. So those videos are also available on our website. We have a few different grant opportunities for teachers that we would love if you would share with the teachers in your networks. Our Taste and Teach grant, we partner with Rayleigh's and Stater Brothers to provide a $100 gift card and a binder full of curriculum for teachers throughout or in Northern and Southern California to purchase commodities each month for their classroom and then use the resources included in the binder to teach about those commodities. So it's a great way to taste different agricultural commodities. Our Literacy for Life grants are $500 grants that we provide to teachers throughout California to enhance agricultural literacy in their classrooms. And these projects could be anything from starting or enhancing a school garden to creating a library, an agriculturally themed library for their classrooms. So the ideas are literally limitless as long as it enhances ag literacy. We also, at the start, over a year ago, last March, we started our Learn About Ag at Home blog with the start of the pandemic when teachers and students were transitioning to in-home learning. We provide an activity every day at 10 a.m. on our blog about, it could be an AgByte, it could be a page or an activity from what's going on, but just a simple way to incorporate agriculture into students' learning. Now that they're transitioning back to the classroom, we hope that teachers will still use the activities that we're sharing in their classrooms or their digital classrooms, but it was really just a way to make sure that everyone was still connected to their food and connected to learning about all that agriculture provides on a daily basis. And then, as we've mentioned a few different times, but our website is learnaboutag.org, and everything that we've talked about is available on our website for free. For a free download, and then you can also request hard copies on our website, and based on availability, we'll send those to you for use in your upcoming activities. So
yeah, keep on going, Mindy, you're on a roll.
With that, we are, we briefly talked about our AgBytes, but now we are going to explore one of them. And this one is called Apples and Earth, and it is one of our most favorite activities to do in person because it provides such a lifelong lesson and immediate connection to agriculture. Students, teachers, we pretty much do this in every workshop that we do, because even if we're doing one of our university student teacher workshops for pre-service teachers, they're still able to, it's still such an eye-opening activity.
And this is a great activity that you can do with any group, whether they're students or adults, Rotary clubs, Lion clubs, legislators. It just really is an eye-opening and aha moment for everybody. So we encourage you to take it and use it.
Yeah, so to start, when we're starting this activity, we always tell our audience that this apple represents the earth. And so we are going to use this apple to discover how much of the Earth's surface is needed to grow food for the entire world. And so to start, we're going to cut our apple into fourths.
And sometimes we use plastic knives when we're working with our students.
Yes. So now that we have our apple cut into fourths, we are going to set 3 of those fourths aside, as that represents all of the water on the earth's surface, and we can't grow water on the earth's surface. So we'll set those 3 aside, and then we're going to cut this remaining slice in half. And then we're going to set one of these slices, or one of these halves, aside, as that's desert, swamps, Arctic areas where we're not able to grow food for our world's population. And then we have the second half, and we're going to divide that into fourths.
And what's really fun with this is you can really connect it obviously to math and percentages and fractions.
And then we're going to set 3 of those fourths aside, as that is land that's too rocky, too hot, or has too poor of a soil quality to grow food for our world's population. So for all of you math whizzes out there, we have this piece of the apple that's left, this quarter, but it's actually 1/32 of the original apple. But this is supposed to represent the 1/32 all the way down to the core, and we can't grow food all the way down to the core of the earth. So we're going to peel the skin back, and just the peel, that represents the topsoil. And this is the land, 1/32 of the earth that we have to grow food for the entire population. And so this is such a great activity to do with any type of group, because it really just brings in that message that farmers are stewards of the land, and we all are. So we all have to do our part to take care of the earth, because this is it. This is all we have to grow food, and it's what our entire world depends on. And so again, it's such an enlightening, eye-opening activity, and just reminds us all to take care of our earth and be good stewards of the land. And so this activity, and I'll hold up our AgByte again, and you guys can see it on the screen. You can see the content standards. There's a whole section on the classroom discussion along with the steps, and then different activities and ways that you can extend it into your classroom. But one of the other reasons that we love this activity is the minimal supplies. All we needed was an apple and a knife. And so it doesn't require a lot of activities. If you're looking for an event or for an activity to do at an upcoming event, you can do it as a demonstration. You can do it as a hands-on. It doesn't require a lot, and you're able to have a healthy snack afterwards.
That's
so
right.
What more could you ask for? It's a win-win.
It's about eating. Well, thanks, Mindy. So I think as we wrap up this, we want to make sure that you do stay connected with us and stay in touch. And I think it's really important that we all work together to make sure that our youth learns about agriculture, that our whole society learns about agriculture. And this workbook that's available in hard copy and downloadable from our website is really just the beginning and opening the conversation. And we really hope we've kind of sparked an interest in with your organization to maybe partner with Ag in the Classroom or other local resource organizations, so that you go out there and do a little bit more about educating about agriculture. As I said, the booklets will be available. All our resources are available, as Mindy said, at learnaboutag.org. And if you have any questions, please be sure to reach out to us, and we'd love to start a conversation about a partnership. And don't forget this heavy, big box of resources that you're going to receive in the mail if you fill out the evaluation.
And it's a very short evaluation.
It's a very short evaluation,
Yes.
But we want to know what you're doing and how we can do better for you and how we can partner together.
And we look forward to working with all of you on your agriculture literacy efforts in the future.
So thanks for taking the time to share with us.
Have a great day.